Christ, why is it warm? God. All right. In a second, it'll start, and in a second, I'm going to announce. Just give me a little bit of time. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. There it is. Okay, do this. Destroy that. I don't want to hear myself talk. Not today. Today is not the time. It's already 12:30. Hearing myself talk would break me. All right. We're going to post. What are we? We could post this. So many great photos. What are we on? 685. Hey, welcome to day 685 of Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day. I'm your host, Brian Case. And today, we're just eating and talking. A combination of things, two things that I've never done before, so get ready. I don't think you're ready for the amount of talking and eating that's about to fucking happen. All right, we got everything here. Idre, oh, how was Saltburn? What a loaded question. Ask Emerald about it. There is some pretty intense scenes. It is probably the weirdest movie you've seen. I really wish you could have caught that, because that movie was so fucking weird. What a fucking movie. Holy shit. Oh my god. Eat that paper. Yeah. I can satisfy everybody's criteria right now while also talking about this fucking movie. So, we're planning on making a movie reviewing Instagram account. Brian and Emerald, B&E, two sides of the same coin. I'm heads, she's tails. And, whatever side of the coin lands on its head is the one whose opinion is correct. And, I'm always on top. So, I'll say this. Moose-stashy, you're not ready for this at all. It's really not that big of a deal. I just eat paper and gulp it down, and then it comes out the other end, in a little tiny little ball. And it also makes a noise when it comes out, like that. Or like that. They always makes a fun little noise. Eating paper is kind of a fun little activity. Purely recreational, not for health reasons or fiber reasons at all. It's all a conspiracy. Who the fuck is awake at 12:32 at night? Come on, guys. Well, thank you anyways. By the way, this is my score of the day. Very good score. I'm pretty happy with that. And the reason why it seems low and why I'm still happy is because we're adjusting our score. Remember when I always say 5 is the average? This wasn't above average day, but I would jump straight to the 8 realm. We don't want to do that. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We don't want to count our asshole wrinkles before they stretch, all right? So, yes, we need more. I know. I'm trying to do them every day. From now on, it's going to get a lot more consistent. I could have gone to bed. Look at my circles. Look at my dark circles. Hey, Idre, remember when I was really tired? I'm even more tired now, but I still got to commit. We still got to fucking finish this. It's 2:32 a.m. for me. Holy shit, Moose-stashy. Which means that you're not who I thought you were. I thought you were that guy from Panama, but it turns out that guy is fast asleep. You're built different, Mr. Moose-stashy. But yeah, in that movie, I'm just going to say there is a particular bathtub scene, and someone warned me about it in the theater, one of my coworkers, and I didn't trust him. I thought, oh, well, big deal. I don't know, just someone fingers somebody's japsai. Brutal, but I've seen that shit before. I've seen that happen in a bathtub myself, but no, there is a bathtub scene that is so gratuitous, and it's these close-up shots. It's not even of two people having sex. It is, whew, I'm just going to say, human vacuum. That's all I'm going to say. It's bad, bro. Oh, my God. It is something else. So, Idre, I wish you could have caught that with us. I wish I could have watched you thrown up in the theater. Just right in front of me. Instead, I had to watch Emerald nearly throw up in the theater. She ate just enough popcorn to really have it almost come up. She tasted the taste of acid in her mouth. I'm so sorry, Emerald. You deserve better. All right, piece number 2. For those of you who are new, remember we do thin and consistent strips, all right? If you come out of the woodwork with some gigantic fucking wad of paper that comes out of nowhere, that'll be like swallowing 5 horse pills at once. That will break your esophagus. They're called esophageal ruptures. They can lead to severe bleeding and death. We don't want that, do we? I don't want to incite people to rupture their esophagi, which is the plural for esophagus. Anybody who owns a dictionary knows that. Okay. Jojo from work, because, I've seen you before, by the way, Mr. Jojo TV, and I have never seen, I know your face doesn't look like that profile picture. You mean from Pizza Port? Jojo from Pizza Port? If this is you, then I owe a lot to you. Also, we gotta go to In-N-Out again with Jake. We owe each other that experience again. I haven't seen you in a long time. I also haven't seen Pizza Port in a long time. I will be back. I know. I'm sure you guys have gotten customer requests. I don't know. Or maybe it's died out and I overestimate myself. Either way, I'm happy to be back as a low-profile forgotten nobody, or as the guy who people still remember as pinball retard who wears the suit and fucking bangs the gong. From Pizza Port, did you have serious plastic surgery? I can't even recognize the profile. It's probably just some random stock photo. Jojo, you're the one fucking guy who stayed, man. Hyro was too drunk, Chris was too professional, and Ben was too fired. He was not employed enough to be this consistent, man. Jojo, you are built fucking different. God, feels so good. I am so, like, surprised that you're, like, you still are sticking with me. You are so real for that. Only, like, 15 people in my life have been as real as you. And when it reaches that threshold of realness, it can't be passed. I'm telling you. You are at the upper echelon. Nobody can be realer than you. It's my boy's pick. Yeah, you see, I figured. It felt like it came from a third party. Okay. And when we're doing the earlier streams, by the way, stuff is going to be a lot more populated. So we're going to be getting more engagement, more interaction. That's what the goal is. What used to happen 2 years ago, people would every day, because I had a consistent schedule at 10, so people knew when to catch me. They'd always go, hey, Brian, opinions on this new current event, and I'd give my update, or I would literally not know what it is, and I just look it up on Twitter, and I go, oh, Jesus, what is this? It'd be really interesting. Jojo is the realist. How can I pin that comment? Can I hear it? Let me just... Oh, excuse me. Let's see. It doesn't let me pin if I'm on mobile app. All right, I guess we are going to have to pop it up on the computer then, if we're going to be like that. Not the Google account button. YouTube needs to stop redesigning their websites to make them more and more garbage. Let's stop that. All right, here we go. Where is... Yeah, here it is. Pin that fucking message. That is the spirit. That's the type of positive reinforcement we want on our paper streams. Yes, please. More of that. Okay. How long have I been doing this for again with the paper? Well, this is day 658. There are two answers to that question, by the way. If you were to take the time since I started to the time right now, that would be 4 years. I've been doing this for 4 years since I was 16 years old. However, if we're going to take this a little more literally, like how many actual consecutive days I took long breaks, shh, don't tell anybody. But if we were to add up strictly the days I spent in about a week, I will have done 2 years worth of paper. If we're talking about a sheet a day, excuse my burp. Has it been a year? Oh, like doing this for again, and emphasis on again. Okay, I misunderstood. It's been a year since I restarted this. Yeah, I believe so. Because it was early, it was kind of mid-2022 actually, so it's been a year and a half. Going up to 2 years, because I ended on day 200. So we started 201 when I was working in Pizza Port, literally making boxes on that Pizza Port, that cursed Pizza Port countertop that Shaner would always stare at me whenever I'd be working there, and he'd just stare at me making boxes. Then I'd fart in front of him, and then he'd start grinding his teeth. You know, all that spicy shit. And you know, it was a bit of a risky... I associate that place with really stepping on eggshells, but fortunately, I was able to prance around and miraculously not get my feet stuck on by any broken eggshells. So, has it been... Oh, it's been more than a year. It's been like a year and a half. We're going up to 2 years. So... Yeah, I don't know. I feel I've taken a couple breaks. I am shameful to confess, all right? Forgive me, Father. I have sinned. I did take a 30-day break because of a small episode. A lot of bad things happen all at once, and I decided to kind of let go of the duties for just a little bit, and I came back, and I'm stronger than ever. You're made of paper from now on. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, that guy? Yeah, I know. Oh, face slapping, or no, hand slapping, face palm emoji. Yeah, Shaner is kind of like a giant face palm emoji. With that said, I think he makes fantastic beer, and I was honored to be employed underneath his company for such a long time. And I want to let you guys know that Joshua Shaner, I fully represent Pizza Port's intentions when I say that he is totally not gay. I think his mustache looks pretty cool. I hope he takes care of that flip-flop tan of his, and I hope he fixes his personal issues. I'm going to get a little doctor's appointment. I'll get Dr. Rathbun to measure how much of my body is comprised of paper. He's going to estimate like 25%. That's my guess. I feel like at this point, it's kind of like microplastics, because there are people who are located near the Pacific garbage patch. There's this old dude who lived like on the garbage patch because he was homeless, and I guess the outside world was pretty cruel to him. And, you know, I'm not there no more, and oh no, he's gay. Yeah. Caught him staring at Chris's ass like 15 times, but it's all good. But I feel like the same thing with microplastics, like it slowly works its way through your bloodstream. The paper has completely augmented itself within my body. I guarantee you could draw on me a lot easier than the average man. You are the paper man that eats the paper. Thank you. Get an X-ray. Yeah, we'll see how many little shards of paper, micropapers. Oh my god, micropapyruses. We'll see how many of those are located in my stomach cavity and see how much longer I have to live. I'm going to estimate like 10 years before I die. It'll be of natural causes. This is true recycling. No, I'm telling you, this all gets ejected back into the sewage system where it belongs, because it just goes out into the toilet. If I could totally post pictures of my shit. It'll just be, will you have some shit with your paper? It's kind of like that. It's just balls of shit, or no, balls of paper with little bits of shit in between. I am a minimalist. I don't fast, but I eat a good amount of food. It's just, I eat so much damn paper that it just becomes a minority. Wow. Not to be evil or anything, and I'm not to be an unprofessional asshole, but like, I love Pizza Port. I think it was a great platform to have lots of fun in, and I did have lots of fun in it. Why why did Shaner have to be such a joy killer? Like, I was thinking to myself before Shaner became a noticeable figure, I was like, okay, this is awesome, and like obviously I have some work to do with balancing work with play, and I found that balance, but Shaner didn't care. He just kept being a little dingleberry about it. But I figured, hey, once I find that balance, there's quite literally no catch to this, you know? In Cinépolis, there's a lot more of a catch, because people there aren't there to party as much, you know? It's less fun-loving, and Cinépolis has, it has this prestige behind it, you know? It has this whole reputation of luxury movie theater. Luxury and Pizza Port are two words that have, like, infinite walls separating them. Like, at no point should those two phrases be together. With that said, though, there is no real catch to Pizza Port. Like, I know it has that, like, thin layer of Pizza Port dust and everything, and I know it's like really musty, and I feel like my lung capacity has decreased 5% by just being in there so much. But with that said, like, it's a great place, but Shaner was the one dude in there who would just glare at people, and he'd find every single thing, like one little ass hair. He would like get on my case about like what job I was doing, and I'd be like, yeah, you know, I prefer to, like, have everybody leave before I uproot the mats, because it's like, oh, yeah, you're not uprooting the mats yet. You're really lazing around. It's like, yeah, there's, like, maybe 15 people still here, though. And I remember getting explicit instruction to not fully close and take stuff down by kind of somebody who looks and sounds and has a name very similar to yours. Oh, I think it was you. I think you told me to do the opposite of what you're getting on my ass about right now. So maybe I should listen to past you or present you, because you're drunk right now. Maybe I'll just ignore you and pretend you're not here. So I don't know. I don't like him. He is just looking for trouble, man. And I'm happy to be one who exited gracefully into another job rather than getting some sort of like write-up from his salty ass. With that said, I don't really know the full ins and outs and the going-ons within the community. I'm certainly not one to speak, but I still I still can appreciate what Pizza Port stood for. He slowly became that grumpy old dude. Yeah, I saw old pictures of him when he was skinny and he smiled more. Seemed like he had a genuine smile in him. I don't know what happened. The job sucked the fun right out of him. This is why I never want to be a manager. Like, I remember Abe. Was like a really like fun, happy guy. That's why he stopped being the floor manager. He just got so stressed out. Like, I would see, like, literally every night would be a fucking crisis for him. He would just slowly lose his sanity. He'd go through an entire Disney movie's worth of just character arc induced stress, and he that's why, like, I feel like Abe's life is just so formless sometimes, because like he'd come back and he'd deal with so much stressful shit the previous day as the floor manager, dealing with my incompetent ass and other people's fucking just temper tantrums and people losing their minds at him. And then he'd come back the next day and he would just have no choice but to just fully recalibrate himself. Like, he'd be like, there's just too much shit in his life, and he just has to, his brain just decides to do what computers do when they short circuit. Just dump all the info, and boom, new computer. Hi, I'm Abe. What's up, bro? Nah, it's all good, my dude. Yeah. So it's like, I feel like that just comes with the industry. So I'm not going to say it's all Shaner's fault. But Chris, I wish that it could have just been Chris number 2, I just wish that Chris there could have been just more people like Chris. Because I know that Chris wanted he let so much stuff slide. And I know he wanted the best for us sometimes. And sometimes he had communication issues and he wasn't the best at getting stuff across. And sometimes it'd be really transparent that something was wrong and that it was clearly not him saying the stuff that he was saying. And he was just literally becoming a talking piece for HR. There's no harm in just telling me, hey, dude, HR said this, and what HR says goes. They're the higher-ups. They got the power. We got to stay safe. But he would, like, pretend like, oh, it's now a thing that I personally believe in, which would make it even more confusing for me. It's like, just know I'm not okay with this. And it's like, but are you really? Because you were okay with it a week ago, and now all of a sudden you're flip-flopping. At least be honest. One of the most important, underrated things about job decisions is whether or not the intent for the reasoning is in good faith or in bad faith. So, I head out. Hopefully I catch the next stream. Hey, man, seriously. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, seriously, it's 2:30. Or actually, yeah, it's like 2:47. Go to bed, man. I promise the streams from now on will be earlier and also less slanderous of my prior workplaces. But, yeah, to finish what I was saying... again, Chris, I'm not going to say that being a victim is always the case, but he was a victim. He was a victim of society, JoJo. I just kicked my PC on accident. If it weren't for HR stinking, and if it weren't for him being pressured by other people, presumably Shaner, I think that things would be a lot easier. Because I feel like Chris, unlike a lot of people who just say, we're a family here, it really felt like Pizza Port was a family, especially because I'm in a different workplace now, and it does not feel like a family. And... they call it a family, and it's more like a really fucked up high school that occasionally has old people in it, like me. Like half the people there are high school age, and the other are just disgruntled old people who really, really want to kill themselves. So, Pizza Port felt like an actual family, and even though the demographic were mostly people who had no connection with like the stuff I was doing, and it was just like, okay, Brian's being weird. Why is he talking about this? Get out of here. It felt like I was being dismissed. Cody felt like Cody never took me serious. Like, I tried to have conversations, but he would mostly be really silent, and he'd be like, it was like the invisible sneer. I was like, Cody, always felt like Cody kind of had a weird thing, but I get it. I'm annoying. I understand. But other times, it really felt like, Chris's vision. Like, he had an actual vision. He wasn't just lying to me. He had an actual vision for what he wanted Pizza Port to be. So it's like, getting the glare from Cody of all people is terrifying. It really is. Like, and his dialogue with me would literally be like Hank Schrader when angry. Like, it would be like just short, curt, and fucking terrifying. Like, oh my God, Cody, Jesus. I know I can be a little autistic, but does it warrant this much scary behavior? It's so like fucking, it's so ambiguous. It's so like hard to decipher. What am I supposed to, what conclusion? Not annoying. Beyond annoying? Oh, Jesus, I don't know. But I'll say this. It felt like Chris had a vision. It really felt like Chris wanted for it to be a family. And at times it felt like it. I felt like I was a newly adopted member of the family, and other members of the family were, a little, wary of me, a little cautious, raising their eyebrow a little bit. Cody was a smoker. He has no patience. Yeah, I get it. No, I think that's just his nature. It had probably less to do with me and just more to do with, the circumstances surrounding me, which obviously I contribute to, but, whatever. I'll be you thanked, JoJo. Thank you. Hey, Joe, subscribe to your channel, by the way. I think I did see it, and I saw JoJo, and I saw, the shopping videos. Release more. I see what you're doing. It's gonna blow up. Be consistent. And it'll be tough, too, because YouTube's, the #1 burnout social media site, but fucking keep going at it, and you will prosper. But, yeah, no, I feel like Pizza Port, it's, just shy of, that upper echelon workplace, where it's, just a couple of bad apples in the workplace, and HR kind of being anti-fun. It's, obviously, you gotta have common sense, but, the things they'd freak out about was over shit that, was not worth the trouble, and them worrying about it caused more harm than it helped. I'm just gonna be straight up about it. I hate being so blunt and so unprofessional saying stuff like that, but I feel like it had to be said. It straight up did not help. So if it weren't for that, which was an actual problem, and it's literally just these, maybe 5 individuals who just were not helpful, they literally could be removed from the company and it would not make a difference. I think that as long as Shaner just silently makes his beer and keeps his judgment to himself and HR fucks off, I feel like Pizza Port could be great. Pizza Port's a great workplace, and I will be happy to not be a stranger and come back in the future. I got to get back into it. Pizza Port was a fun job. They just didn't know what was going on. Yeah, as far as they were scary. They were it felt like it was Mordor, and most of it was kind of a happy, frolicking forest I could go around and pick pine cones at, throw them at my fellow hobbits. But Sauron and his eye were fucking staring at me from the distance, knew everything I was doing. And even though nothing bad was happening in the moment, something was looming over the mountain. Something was coming to rape me in my ass, proverbially speaking. Heard they don't make tips anymore. Jesus, I left at the right time, didn't I? Oh my god. The tips were half the money I got, too, so yikers. I'm happy to be working a job where it's a bunch of pretentious old moviegoers who have way too much money to spend, because my tips are insane at Cinepolis. Jesus. So, anyways, this is the last piece, by the way, JoJo. All right. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready for this gulp? 3, 2, 1. The suspense is building. Wilhelm behind me is shaking. Oh my god, look at him. He's terrified. Oh my god, is Brian gonna swallow the paper? Please tell me he doesn't choke and die this time. Oh my god, he's still alive. He survived again. How did he do it? He never stops. That's right, I'm never gonna stop, Wilhelm. Now get the fuck out of here. Thank you very much for watching Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day, day 685. I will see you tomorrow. That'll be day, you work at the belly up. Ooh, shit, now that fits you. I knew you'd love that. When I turn 21, which is in 2 months, by the way. Hey, Jojo. I know I'm gone from the company, but you guys still promised you'd give me a good time when I turn 21. In January 26th, after I do my whole celebration and we go to Sundance and I do the wine testing my parents wanted me to do, I'll visit you guys at the belly up. I'll see you. I'll go back to Pizza Port. I'll give you a fucking text. You guys can show up. I can make terrible decisions after giving my brain alcohol poisoning, and I'll play drunk pinball. I'm going to do terribly, by the way. I'm almost 21. I'm so close, guys. Jojo, I can't wait to see you again. Not just over the paper stream, but in real life. I love you, man. You're seriously one of the realest out there, and I don't use that term lightly. In fact, I barely ever use that term. You're one of the very few people who deserves that term. Just know that. I got you when you turn 21. Mwah, thank you so much. All right, seriously, man. I'll see you next time, which will be, hopefully, day 686. Make sure to live, laugh, cry, and also not die. And until next time, this is good.